tackle football, would you let him? 85% said yes. Only 15% said no. 91% of those who had played tackle football themselves said yes, they would still let their son play. And then they were asked, what effect have recent studies and news stories about the long-term health risks of head injuries to football players had on your interest in the NFL? 66% said it's had no effect whatsoever.
Yeah, and I would say that that percentage should even be even higher than that. But people are still watching. I mean, I'm one of them. I put myself, yes, I'm bothered by it, and I wonder exactly what the real story is and what the cause and effect is, but I'm still watching it.
I was really surprised about the survey of parents. I thought it would be more 50-50, but it is incredibly overwhelmingly in favor of still letting your kid play.
Yeah, I guess it's a little surprising.
All right, which of the following ways do you watch NFL games? 97% said television, 25% also responded computer, 12% tablet, 11% smartphone, 21% in person. So TV is still the way to go, even though more are consuming games on their computers.
I wonder if that's gone up a bunch in the last 5 years, because that seems like what it was about 5 years ago.
37% of fans say they would support legislation to legalize gambling in the NFL. Although small percentages, if you break it down, 18% play fantasy football. I thought it'd be bigger than that.
Yeah.
16% bet on a game with a close associate. 14% participate in a Super Bowl box pool. 13% in a pick'em or survivor pool. 8% bet on games through a bookie. 63% of fans don't do any of that. So most fans just watch for the game.
Yeah. And that's why I've always wondered, what is the real impact of gambling? I mean, if you throw fantasy football in there, I guess, the numbers are way, way up, because technically that is.
Asked whether they think NFL players are better or worse role models than athletes in other leagues. More fans said worse in comparison with every league but the NBA. Why does my NBA take it in the shorts? They thought that 32% of baseball players were better role models, 26% of soccer players, 27% of hockey players were better role models, and only 2%, I guess this would be a negative 2%, thought the NBA were better. NFL was above the NBA, but behind those other leagues.
That's a tough time to ask that question about the NFL.
Yeah. Fans think an average of 34% of all active NFL players use performance-enhancing drugs. 34% of all active players, so they think a third of the league is on PEDs. And they say that, do you think an NFL player should be suspended if he tests positive for any of the following drugs? 54% said yes for marijuana, 85% said yes for amphetamines, and 94% said yes for steroids.
Huh.
It is pretty much split. Do you favor or are you opposed to expanding the NFL season to 18 games? 52% said yes, 48% said no.
They didn't factor in the preseason with that. They just asked that one basic question.
Right. 40% of fans say they believe that in 20 years, the NFL will not closely resemble today's game in terms of rules regarding contact and player equipment.
I can see that.
So I wonder